Good evening, one and all, and welcome to another edition of Cop Talk. Yeah, we're back, man, right here on YouTube on your Thursday night, 10 till you know what, whenever you say when. So first and foremost, I must say, we're going to say Happy New Year to Mr. Preds, man. We ain't seen him, mouth on a stick. First time we seen him this year, but we understand he's been a busy man. You know what I mean? Moving up in the world and all that. So, well, can you tell us what it is you've been doing in your promotion, Prez, man? Come on, man. I like to hear these things.
Well, first and foremost, Happy New Year to everyone. Everyone knows that I'm attached to Hayes and Yedden Football Club. I was assistant manager there, and now I've assumed the role of sporting director. So it's just about making sure that all of our. Thank you very much.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
it's the way you phrased it as well. Now I've assumed the role. My guy.
Yeah,
my guy.
I like that.
My guy.
You ever know, man? One day you may be gracing the great halls of Anfield, man. That's
my guy. Well done, bro.
Yeah. My friends say that I've turned slightly corporate, which I've got to be honest.
You fulfill your role, man.
It is what it is. But it's all good.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much for the nice.
In a suit and that now, and a whistle and that instead of your tracksuit.
Absolutely not. No suit out there. Well, there's some teams that we visit that it's courtesy to go into the boardrooms and with shirt and tie and suits. But I'm trying to kind of add a little flavour in there.
Okay.
With nice a bit of professionalism, but nice and smart cash.
Okay. Good evening, VW. Nice to have you on board, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Sorry I was a little bit late, but yes, I'm happy to be on board.
Nice one.
Happy New Year to everyone.
What's happening, my brother?
Happy New Year to everybody, man. I'm glad to be back, and onwards and upwards, man. And honestly, Preds, bro, so proud of you, my guy, man. That's a great role to have, bro. That's like real life championship manager settings. That's like
you understand?
Like, come on, bro.
It's spending actual peas, bro. You understand?
Come on, bro.
And I've actually got the chairman's got me on speed dial. The chairman's got me on speed dial. The manager's got me on speed dial. I've never been so popular.
Can I just ask a question before we go in? Just on that,
of course.
I just look maybe for people who don't fully understand. What does a sporting director do, and is your role full time?
No, my role is part time because I'm attached to a Step 4 non-league football club. So in regards to that, however, it's starting to become slightly a full-time job. But my role is to kind of be there and support the first team manager in regards to his endeavours, i.e. Identifying players, speaking to players, making sure that the existing players, we're happy. Ultimately, I'm in the back of the scenes to kind of to build a culture within the club. So build a culture. So that stems from the first team to we're going to be creating. Well, actually, I shouldn't be saying it because it's top secret. But we've got a few projects lined up, and it's also the kind of the pathway for the youngsters. We've got quite a few youth teams. Then we've got an under 18s team. We're looking to bring on scholarships for kids next season. So there's so many projects going, and ultimately my role is to kind of liaise between the chairman and the manager and the board, and kind of put not my spin on it, but identify and explain what's going on the pitch in regards to the training, the players that we've got, the formation systems. I'm just there as a supportive mechanism, and I'm helping the chairman in achieving his objectives, really, not just on the football pitch, but behind the scenes as well.
Right, so you're buffer between the two, essentially. You're like, okay.
Nice.
So in regards to a definitive job description, I think it's kind of bordering on the same as director of football or technical director. It's almost all the same, and it's just about getting that culture, making sure that in-house that we've got a structure that we go to. Also making sure that there's clear transparency between the club and the football supporters, as well, and basically just building the endeavours of football. That's what.
Nice one.
That's what I'm doing. So yeah.
Massive shout goes out to Mr. Amit. He says, "Evening, chaps. Nice to have you on board. I know Amit is always chomping at the bit, and I know he's upset when we're not on, man. He's always messaging. Are we getting live tonight? Are we on? Are we on a Thursday? Thanks for the support, Amit, man. It's much appreciated. Hit that like, that share, and that subscribe. Before we start, we are going to say condolences and sad news goes out to Kanate on the passing of his father. So that's why he wasn't playing. So yeah, man, in the Champions League game. So yeah, he sadly lost his dad. So yeah, condolences goes out to you and the full family, mate. Okay.
Sorry, do we know if he was ill? Because I'm just wondering. His form was off.
Yeah.
At the start.
Yeah.
So did that play a part? Do you get what I mean? Because there's been lots happening at this club this season.
Yeah.
And we don't really know what's really been going on.
Good point. Yeah. We'll try and find out during the show and see what we can find out. So before we talk about yesterday's match, let's have a quick summary, gents, on what's been going on with all these draws against these newly promoted teams. What is going on here? I think that 6 points dropped.
Yeah, I think the Burnley game, I think it was just a case of, I think the performance wasn't great, but the performance is better. However, we was just not ruthless enough in front of goal. And goals change games, ultimately. Like we scored the first goal, we should have been kicking on. But then it just seems like we score a goal, we go ahead, and then we just withdraw. Or there's some sort of miscommunication or something like that. It just doesn't look fluid. And players play, and it also looks like the players have got like a huge weight on their shoulders as well. And when things are not going right, and there's a lot of traffic, i.e., talk in and around, it's quite hard for them to kind of block it out, which they need to do. But yeah, I think if we all knew the answer, I think we'd be the manager, wouldn't we?
You reckon?
Well, I mean.
Maybe
it's that's as much as I've got to say really on that. I can't really explain it.
Okay. VW.
We're a bit like we're white rice. Remember when you're growing up, right? And when times were hard, isn't it? A bit of white rice and butter, isn't it?
Yes.
But Mum or Dad would be able to pull out a little corned beef, an onion, and then change it into something spectacular. Yeah, we just can't do that right now. We're just bland, and there's no potency. It's struggling against teams who also play a long ball, isn't it? A long ball where we're playing, and it goes back to what we were talking about before we've had the breaks and Christmas. There's lots of things which are challenging at the moment. As to what they are, there's numerous things going on potentially, but yeah, this guy can't. He's not getting them at the level that we want them to be at for whatever reason at this moment in time. Hopefully yesterday was a turning point. But yeah, sorry, I haven't most probably answered the question, but you just can't. I can't put a thing on it, a pinpoint on it.
Okay, Doctor.
So, I actually think Burnley was a bit of a. Oh, actually, I wouldn't even say Burnley. I think the Arsenal game was a bit of a turning point in that I felt that like first half performance, whilst it might not have been how we wanted to play against Arsenal, but I feel like we showed resilience and we showed composure and we showed that we could handle the actual pressure, which is something that we've struggled in a few games. Think of like Spurs last 10 minutes, Newcastle game, and we're 2 men up against them. So I feel like we showed a level of mental toughness in that first half against Arsenal when I was just like, okay, yeah, they were up for the game. You know what they're like at home. Stacker's skinned Kirkes, then he skinned McAllister. But then after that, we really just like went about our business in quite a professional way, and I felt like we actually played like champions. And then I think then the second half, I think we then began to see the Arnie Slot from last season, where I don't know what he's done exactly, but we had complete control over the game. Like we saw Slot making changes again. And I think and then look at the Burnley game, and I actually felt the Burnley game was actually a good performance. I just think fans have become, and rightfully so frustrated with how we've been playing for a period of time. So it's just like another draw at Anfield. But the Burnley draw was very different to the Leeds draw or the Sunderland draw, where actually we created enough chances to actually win the game and win the game well. And I feel like the individual quality in the team is beginning to show again. So like Verts is now playing a lot better. Obviously, Hugo's maintained standards. Mac 10's coming back into it. Grab's picked up again. Curtis is being good. So I feel like we're seeing the individual levels of the players rising up slowly as well. So I do think we are in a bit of an upward kind of movement right now. But I do accept that it's been mediocre for a long period of time. And I feel like when there's frustration, right? People kind of just lead with their emotions. So it's just like slot balls bland, slot balls this, slot balls that. And I'm just like, okay, last season it wasn't bland. It wasn't Klopp, but it wasn't bland. Our first 5-6 games of the season, the guy is being almost too attacking. And we're like, you don't need to be playing 5 forwards on with like half an hour to go. So I feel like he's almost become too defensive. Why he's done that? If it's to save his job, if it's to create some balance again. But I just feel like this guy isn't a defensive manager, innit? He's just dug his feet in to maybe see us through that kind of dark period. And it looks like, you know what I mean, we're kind of coming out of that on the other end. But I do accept it was terrible. But I guess my last point, and I've been talking for a while, I think Arnie Slot is quite a disrespected manager, if I'm being real. I feel for what he's done in the game in such a short space of time, like people talking like, yeah, last season was the fluke. I'm like, come on, man. The guys won leagues with Feyenoord who don't normally win leagues. Okay, they won the league 6 years before that, but it was something like 15 years prior to that one that they last won the league. The guy was joint top of the league with Alkmaar before COVID shut the actual Dutch league. So we've got a manager who in 3 different teams in 2 different countries has shown the ability to compete and win leagues. So I feel like sometimes we've got to just, like we might not like how he's behaving or his personality at times, but I just think this is a top manager. And like I said to everybody, if we sack him, I have no doubt Arnie Slot will go on and win multiple leagues in other countries because I think he is that good. So, yeah.
Wow.
And so just timing, just on what you've just said there in relation to Slot, right? It's going to be interesting when we understand what was the crux of why we went through this dip or why we've gone through these challenges. But it's fair to say that we're not the only club who's going through it. And it does seem like with what we've seen with Chelsea, with what we've seen with United, that you've got the coach who wants to do things, and then you've got this structure and these, these execs. And it's almost like there's a bit of a divide. And it's trying to get that cohesiveness to work together to pull things through. But there's definitely some challenges there. You know what I mean?
Something's gone wrong behind the scenes. I don't know what it is, but there was rumors that like he lost the dressing room. Is that true?
Yeah.
Does that mean 4 players, 5 players, the whole dressing room? Like we had the whole Mo Salah thing. So there's been a lot of things indicating that things aren't right with the club or things aren't. But then I was thinking about this. Right?
There's rumors that he's they're not the players that he wanted. These players were bought and he was told to work with them also.
So I'm saying about the Chelsea and Man United things. It's a very similar pattern in terms of I think the way football's changing.
Directors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, right? The thing is, like when the rumours about this, you heard about rumours saying that Slot didn't want these players. To be honest, what manager wouldn't want Verts and wouldn't want the players that he's at Etatike? So I think that's a little bit. I think you have to treat that with a bit of tongue in cheek, kind of gossip. Because I've got to be honest. What manager would moan about getting that kind of level of players? I don't see that being a problem. Like if I was a manager and they said, "Right, I'm going to get you Verts, X, Y, Z, X, Y," I'm like, "All right, cool."
No, but you have to remember, it's not that. He may have a plan in his head of what he wants and how he wants to play. And these players may not be the ones to fit into what he wants to do.
Yeah, but you got to remember, last season they've had a whole season to plan. We bought one player last season, Chiesa. So at the levels that they're at, there's a plan. In actual fact, there's probably a 3-year or 5-year plan. There's definitely a plan going. As regards to execution of that plan, maybe it's just a case of watch this space in regards to getting the players to settle down. But the fact of the matter is, they've come to a team that's the reigning champions of the Premier of England. Like their expectation is to hit the ground running. You're champions. Go and defend your title. I don't know whether you've mentioned it or not on here before, but also I don't know if people have also. I'm not blaming the situation all on what's happened in the summer in regards to Diego Jota passing away. What I'm going to say is people mourn in different ways.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
From the players to the staff to the supporters, everyone deals with it in different ways. And I'm not saying that it's 100% that's the problem, but I think you've got to consider that there's a slight percentage of that still minging around. Like, imagine it, you go to work and you work with this person every single day as a player, and then unfortunately those circumstances happen. I believe the first 5 games we ran on emotion, pure emotion. Like we're going to win it for Diego. It started to settle down now. When it starts to settle down, that's when the mental health issue, not mental health issues, but the mental health well-being and mourning somebody. It takes a hit, and I don't know whether people considered.
Yeah, listen, I think you've nailed like a brilliant point, and I think I think sometimes people are a bit too one-dimensional in terms of how they see grief, right? And it might be that Arne Slot's character in any normal season is fine, isn't it? But when players are in mourning, maybe that direct style isn't what they needed. Maybe actually this season was the season they actually missed Klopp putting his arm around their shoulders, because that's when they actually wanted the Klopp. Now, that's not to say that Slot isn't a good manager or isn't, but when what I mean, when you've gone through tragedy, you want something that feels like home in it, or that feels like love, or that just feels like a bit paternal. So maybe I think maybe Slot's management or Slot's managerial style in the context of a tragedy maybe has kind of made it worse for him. So I just feel it's super complex, because I just feel like Rafa Benitez and Gerard Houllier, both managers who people rate very, very highly. They've done different things in the game, different things with LFC. I think this season, with a Jota that's happened, with their managerial style and personality taking over Klopp, they would have both struggled badly. Badly. Because that little icy style, let's just make it about the football bit, kind of undetached in that. Maybe that's just not what the players actually want. And I just feel like this is a very difficult environment for any manager to kind of be judged by. I think it's super hard.
Yes.
And look, I rate Xabi Alonso super highly for obvious reasons. But I can't ignore the fact that Slot slapped him up twice with Real Madrid and with Leverkusen. Like when he put 4 past him last season, Xabi Alonso still had his team that won the treble. So I feel like Slot's an outstanding manager or coach, whatever you want to call it. Pep slapped up Pep twice last season. Arteta hasn't beat him twice with Arsenal super teams. In 2 seasons, Arsenal haven't beat him. I I think we're looking past the fact or the idea that we've got a top manager, but maybe it's just very, very trying times and things are falling out around that. I just think people are underestimating how good of a coach like this guy blatantly is, in my opinion.
Okay. And you know what? Sorry, just very quickly. Sorry, Artie. On what was supposed to be said there. Like you said, people deal with grief in different ways, right? If you take football out of the equation, let's just say, I'm not saying everyone has. I don't know if everyone has, but if you've lost someone, you might be someone who, when you're fully active, right? That's how you're managing your grief, right? And then you've got someone who's very sad and so forth, or there's someone like, I'm okay, yeah, I'm cool, I'm all right. So you've got all these different sort of ways of handling it. Imagine that as a squad of 20 plus people, and you're the manager, and then you've got to pick a team of 11 who've got to who've got to perform as a team on the pitch, but they're still all going through that. If that is what's happening at the team, there's been a lot happening in this season, and it's very easy to forget that because all we think about is, yeah, we were sad at the start of the season. But what's going on now? We're midway through. Why are we during all these games? What's going on? We're fickle because we're not emotionally attached to it in the same way like they are. I'll shut up now.
Gonna say a massive shout goes out, Mr. Trim. Nice to have you on board, sir. It says evening, gents. And it says bang on, doctor. That was a little while ago now, so I'm not sure which comment he was talking about. Gonna say a big shout goes out to Quality Within Play. Says evening, gents. Full panel is back. Yep, you're right there, mate. Full panel is back. And Preds, this one was for you actually. When you was talking about your manager and sporting director talk, right? He says, I agree with you. See, you're on that side of the panel now. It's all good. I like that, because we got a sporting director on the panel. We got a ref on the panel. We got a player on the panel. So we're looking at it from all sides. You know what I mean? I'm liking this.
Absolutely.
I'm liking this.
A holistic approach to it.
Yeah, man. We just need to get a scout in now.
That insight you gave was really, really good. Really, really good.
Get a scout and a physio in now, and it'll be a wrap. It'll definitely be a wrap. So, all right. So, with Doctor now, what he was saying, he rates him as a quality manager, a top manager. He's saying. So, are you saying then basically that these results are down to a lot of what's going on, like obviously with the loss of Jota and what's going on behind the scenes? It's not down to Slot as a manager. So
I think so Slot is part of it in a sense of, I think some of his communication in the press, so there was a game, he made the comments about who's the right back from Scotland.
Calvin Ramsey.
Yeah, and and I think sometimes the way he says things Ramsey's part of the squad, but I've got better options, and I do think some of what he says is unhelpful. And I guess where I would place the Jota thing is, I feel like in any normal season, his personality style might not be as negative as what it's been for certain players because of just where they're at emotionally. Whereas I feel right now, that kind of blunt, arrogant, forthright way that Dutch people can communicate just maybe isn't what the players need right now, innit? But in any normal year, then I don't think maybe Slot's approach is that bad, because see, when he was calling out Trent last season, they said, I told Trent, you need to train harder and you need to be right back, because all the fans were then celebrating that and saying, tell him. So I feel like he's been praised for his forthrightness in some aspects, but then in other situations, it's it's been a negative. And I just feel like, as Pred said, right, we're not Arsenal in a sense of we haven't added £200 million worth of players to the existing group, innit? We've sold 5, 6, then brought 5, 6 new into that. So the original nucleus has changed. We brought 5 new players into that, or 6 new players, who have all struggled other than Hugo. Then the existing players from last season, most of them have all struggled. Van Dijk dipped for a period of games. Matt's been really, really bad. Mo, it's like someone's stole his body. There's been multiple players this season. Ibu, now obviously we don't know if Ibu. Now obviously we don't know if Ibu was a bit of Jota, a bit of Real Madrid, uncertainty, maybe his dad as well. So I just feel there's a lot that has happened that I think is potentially independent of Slot's managerial style. Now I'm not saying that I think Slot's the man to take us forward, simply because I feel maybe too much has gone under the bridge and like we can't move forward on the Slot. It needs to be someone else. But I guess I'm saying I think this guy is a top boy that's just been in a really, really difficult circumstance.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, do you know what? So on that basis then, are we all saying we're willing to give him this season? Right, get this season out the way then, and then so obviously that means you've got to give him till next season. You've got to give him next season as well then.
So
if you're putting all of these factors in the way, then that means you have to get this season out the way and start next season afresh.
So I think the determining factor for me, and this is what Preds would be doing, is I need to just see if Slot's capable of winning back the dressing room if that is an issue. And if he's not, then I would sack him on the basis of just that. Unfortunately, it was just bad timing and that couldn't have been prevented. And sometimes we have to just move forward because that's just the best way, rather than I feel like you're not good enough. I just feel like it was just a series of unfortunate circumstances. And so that would be my... So yeah, like if I feel the dressing room are still with him, then I'll keep him.
I think also, and you're not gonna get upset with me, but I'm just gonna say it as I see it. I don't think we're not gonna win Champions League. Yeah, this season I can't see that happening. What will have to be seen for him is how he gets this team to start performing and winning games in the style that happens with over the next 4 months or so. Yeah, and if we get a good FA Cup run, great. But I think it's a little bit bigger now than actually where we finish in terms of trophies this season or winning a trophy. It's what he does. It's what the culture of the club becomes right now. Because we were in last year a transitional period. We're still in a transitional period. It's just that we managed to win the league in a transitional period, right? So it's almost done in no favours winning the league in the transitional period, because now you've got this whole new squad, and we've got in all these challenges, and you've got the death of Jota. So it's going to be how he gets this culture to see that at the end of the season, we can see the sign of growth.
Also, as well, just interject.
Yeah.
And the marquee signing, has just not been available.
Yes. A marquee signing, I'll also say, I don't think we needed. It's great to have, but I don't think he's coming in the right space. I don't think his head's being right when he's coming to the club. So you've got, like you guys said, you've got that to deal with.
There's a yes and no with that, Vinny, in saying that we didn't need him. There's a yes and no in that. Because obviously Ekatike hit the ground running. You can see Ekatike is a lot better than what we obviously thought, and from what we knew of him. We're seeing bits of him now that we're like, wow, okay. But he can't do it by himself. And if we're going to be a top team challenging all them at them high levels, we need more than one top striker.
100%. We had to go out and get Isaac. I mean, we're defending champions, and if we wanted to go toe to toe with the best teams in the country and abroad, we needed that sort of artillery. But
did it have to be him?
I mean,
I'm not saying we didn't need another striker. Did it have to be him?
No, for real.
No, it could have been someone else. Let's rebound. Let's chuck that question back to you. If you had the opportunity and they said, right, want a striker, who would you suggest?
Who's the guy at Atletico again?
Alvarez.
Yeah.
But you know, he was about the same P though. They was talking
Yeah,
about
but yeah, I just think maybe it's because of the whole. Maybe it's with the whole saga.
Listen, when we first was talking about we might be linked with him, I was like, yep, I'd snap him up. But
Yeah.
they was talking 110, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it's the whole is that. Yeah, it's what the is that thing was so prolonged, and then his behaviour in terms of that move just hasn't fit. How does he fit in that team? How does he fit in the way that we play at this moment in time? He doesn't.
And you know what, V, and this is where, right? See, if you were saying to me, Isak versus Alvarez, I probably would still lean towards Isak. But my main thing with Alvarez, and I think Alvarez would have been great for us because he can play multiple positions. He works like a dog, technically sound. He's just all round excellent. But my thing, and I was saying this like before, is if we sign Alvarez, we're literally going to have like a team of hobbits, bro. Like, because you're going to say to me, this was assuming Gahey like would have happened, yeah? So you're going to say to me, in your starting lineup, it's going to be Gahey, Frimpong, McAllister, Wirtz, Mo Salah, and Julian Alvarez. You see these set piece issues that we've been having this season? Brother, we'd have been getting relegated because every game we'd be like 6 man who were like 5'9" and below in this version of the Premier League. Brother.
I hear you. Good point. A good point.
I'll
make a point though with regards to Isak. I think Isak can work when you've got someone like Frimpong playing on the wing, who is actually going on the outside of his man and getting the ball in the box. But we need somebody like that on the left-hand side as well, not your diagonal brother, Cody Gakpo.
Right. Okay.
And I think that's where Isak could work. Yeah. Okay. You understand? That's where he could work. But the one thing is, you see, that's one thing with Cody Gakpo. You can't argue with his numbers, though. That's what upsets me with him. He gets goals.
No, but know what it is, bro? Cody, look, obviously I've been on Cody a little bit. Cody is a good footballer. I don't think anyone can deny the guy is
one-dimensional
footballer. But see, my thing with Cody is, and this is where I would say I'll be looking at Preds as a sporting director and saying, maybe it's a bit too early to judge because they might have a plan to maybe do a lot more in the summer than we see the whole thing together. But I just look at a lot of talented players who we've got, and I just don't see how it gels together. It's just not cohesive for me. Like, I think about our front three on the clock. It was just cohesive. They all do things that complement one another, innit? Now, Cody Gakpo wants to score goals, innit? The guy is a goal scorer. He's like a wide striker, wide forward, inside forward, whatever you want to call him, innit? He's got an electric shot. He's got enough guile and pace to kind of create separation and bang the ball off. But if Cody Gakpo wants to take 6 shots a game, and you've got Mo Salah on the other wing who wants to be a goal scorer, we've signed a number 9 for 111 million. Sorry, a number 10 for 111 million pounds, gets goals and assists, and then we've signed 2 goal scoring number 9s for 200 million pounds. How does it all fit together? Who wants to run off the ball? Like, who wants to get assists? Who wants to be the decoy runs? It's just too many ball to feet, man, who want to shoot.
Yep.
Hence why I'm not surprised it hasn't worked, because their games just don't gel together. Yep. So I almost feel Cody is guilty because he doesn't fit with what we've bought, but that's not on Cody. Because Cody wants to shoot and score goals. That's what he does.
Yeah, but I think you mentioned it earlier on, where we've got rid of 5 or 6 players, and we bought 5 or 6 players in. Now, when you bring that amount of players, take that amount of players out and bring those players in, it takes a degree of time for them to settle down get to the rhythm of what the team want, and also the existing players have to get used to these players as well. So I expected a little bit of turbulence. If you've got to think about it, few years ago, Arsenal went through the same thing when they went through a transition. Man City last season went through slightly the same thing. Teams go through this period. I honestly, I'm positive, and I'd see a way forward with the players that we've got and the way Arne Slot wants to play. All it needs is consistency.
It's interesting. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go on. No,
you go, Preds. You go.
No, but it's like, how can you legislate for one of your top players to do a back heel in your 6-yard box? The manager ain't told him to do that. It's like, these are things are happening, and at the moment where we're making errors, we're getting simply punished for it. And sometimes, I know it's a cliche saying, but that's football. Sometimes you have good periods, sometimes you're a bit down in your luck, and sometimes you're in a bit of funk, and something's got to happen to kickstart your season. Hopefully, the game against Arsenal was that game to kickstart our season. I was absolutely over the moon getting a clean sheet at the Emirates.
Man saying a 0-0 draw is what's going to kickstart our season, you know.
But in saying that, though,
but it's not. Yeah, but it's not just. It's not about like, okay, the score. All right, yeah, but if you think deeper
we've had
about
a penalty.
Huh?
I'm saying against Arsenal, like we should have had a penalty. And you know what? I think Pres makes a good point about it's just football, because I feel like even in the games that we were bad. Oh shit! What's happened there? Sorry.
Been a lot of
things were still going against us that were quite like remarkable things to happen, like the Man U game, in it, where we basically got like a head injury and the referee still plays on. Van Dijk should have done better, but the game should have stopped. The Brentford game, where we should have done better. Cody has a penalty that should have been given that gets denied, and Van Dijk concedes a penalty when the guy's actually outside of the penalty area. Like these. Now that doesn't mean that we weren't poor, but I've never seen a guy win a penalty and he's outside of the penalty area. Like, I've never seen that before in my life. The guy's actually not physically in the box, but they have deemed that Van Dijk's legs in the box when he kicks the guy outside of the box, and therefore it's a penalty. The Brentford game, VW. So I just thought there's been a few things that have blatantly gone against us. When folks are saying that's just football sometimes it blatantly is. That Brer hardly scores any goals, and he scores the goal of his career in the last 30 seconds. Like, sometimes you got to say like.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, sometimes you got the periods in seasons. During the season, you've got these little periods. You got the periods where you're on point and everything's flowing nicely. Then it's a period where you can't hit a barn door. You can't, like, we couldn't get a win in the last 4 games because it was all draws. It's all peaks and troughs. And the most important thing I'm looking forward to is that we've gone through this little turbulence in the first half of the season. I'm hoping that the second half of the season, and yeah, I will say that, yeah, the Arsenal game, because you had some really good, I think Doctor said it earlier, you had some good players who individually were starting to play better. That was probably Kirkus's best game against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Like, to the point that
he dealt with Saka neatly, so they had to take him off.
There was little bits within that game that was good. It just didn't flow a bit. And then obviously the 2 home games against Leeds and Burnley, obviously, yeah, it's an absolute disappointment. We just wasn't ruthless enough in regards to hitting the target enough in doing that. And then we go to Marseille, completely different. That's the kind of the culmination of those little periods that we've been having in games. That was the end result, the Marseille game. That's when it all came together. So if we can continue in that vein with that consistency of performance going forward after Marseille, I think, listen, I'm not going to say we're going to win the league, but I think we'll be in a better position, a more healthy position than we have been in the first part of the season.
So Amit says if Isak is looking like he's probably going to have to hold bench.
So you see something what was mentioned earlier about Cody cutting inside. Yeah, I was watching Stick to Football, the John Barnes the overlap. I watched that today. It was brilliant. It was one like they were all sitting there just fixed on what he was saying, and he said something in there which I think suits what we're talking about now. So he said that in terms of cutting inside, you had Mane and Salah on the wings, but they would cut inside and seek to get goals. What helped is you had someone like Firmino in the middle who allowed that play to work in that way. That's the problem we've got now, isn't it? You need if Cody's cutting inside, right? Isaac's not going to be that sort of Firmino type player. So that's the problem what we're going to have. That's the problem we're going to have to try and fix for Isaac to work. You get what I mean?
100, bro.
Do you think that's on what you just said in regards to the glue? Do you anticipate Verts being that glue?
That's how it should work. That's how it should. What Verts should go in the middle. That's how it should work. But we'll see.
I think what they've done is, I think because of his slight frame, I think what they've done is they've moved him out of the middle because it's hustle and bustle and it's congested, X, Y, and Z. They've moved him out to the right, to the left. Yeah, to the left. Which then enables him to kind of pop in, pop out, pop in, pop out. It doesn't really, because if you see, he's put on weight as well. They've put him on a weights program, and it takes a period of time as well.
But your body to adjust,
yeah. His body's I think again, we spoke about this last season. I think us in this country, we underestimate how difficult the Premiership is. Not in terms of just the quality and X, Y, but just the fierce ferocity and the tempo and it's like that. You go to Spain, it's not like that. You go to Italy, it's not like that. You go to Germany, it's not like that. You can have all the technical players on the pitch, but England doesn't lose the identity of the football league. The football league is the intensity, it's physical, it's hard work, and then when you get through that, you'll see the quality come through all day long. But if you can't match that physical element, which takes a period of time to get used to, and I think that's kind of misunderstood. I don't think we recognise that enough here in this country.
That's a good point still. And you're right, he has adapted.
Gakpo will only ever be good enough to be a very good squad player at best. He's not good enough to be the number one left forward.
See, you know what? Again, I disagree with that to a point. And I might sound a bit ironic because I'm not Cody's biggest fan. I don't think the issue is Gakpo's not good enough or bad enough. I just don't think his game complements what we've got around him. So it's never going to work. Because see, with like a Diaz or someone who's more like a Rio, right? They might cut in field and they might drive at players, but they're not shooting. So by default, they're not losing the ball, innit? You can still use Verts because Verts is going to be like a bit of a conduit for it. They might try and beat their man. They can't come in the field, give it to Verts, and play just carries on. Cody is literally shooting, so the ball is we're losing position on the ball. So if he's shooting 5 times a game, I don't see how. Isak as a 9, Mo Salah right wing, Verts as a 10, and Cody as a left wing. I don't see how that can work in any system. I don't see how those 4 players together can work long term.
And where would Ekitike be in that as well?
So I think if Hugo plays other than Isak, it's got a better chance because Hugo does like to drop a bit deeper. But I just feel like it's just got a flow. You've just got to have players whose games naturally complement one another.
When you said about us being hobbits, do you think that's another reason why he's in the team as well? In regards 100. To defensive set pieces, I get what you're saying, and the other side of it is, as supporters, we don't see what happens in training.
Yeah, it's true.
Training, there could be they could be doing all sorts. The difference is that the players they're training against almost know what they're trying to do, but they still do it. Whereas you've got the opponents who study them, and they're going to try and stop Liverpool and stop the flow. If Liverpool haven't flowed, then you've got to put the plaudits on the opponents.
Yeah, true.
But then you've also got to put it on the players and say, well, look, even if they know how we play, we know what we're doing. We've got to step up and we've got to do it. With Cody, everyone knows he's going to go in and he's going to shoot. But like Lee has said, his stats show, his data shows that what he's doing is effective. And along with that, it's also impacting the squad or the team in a positive way as well. So there's a lot of like, who knows why Slot puts him there, but we might not see what he does in training. Only reason why I say not to put Etike out there at the moment, he's still a little bit raw. He's still a bit loose. And when we're talking about your tactical shape, Cody does that. Whereas Hugo, at this moment in time, I don't think Hugo will play on the left and offer that same structure and defensively sound kind of formation that we play defensively.
From what I've seen with Ekitike, I don't want him on the left. I want him down the middle. He has got the ability. He has got the ability, like you said, he's raw, to be. He can be a kind of similar player to Firmino. He's got them touches, the little flicks, the back heels. He's got the skills, but he also, he's going to bang goals.
He's a good player, man.
He's a problem. He's a problem. He's a problem.
And when I say he's raw, I just say it because of his age. In no way, this guy is raw. He's technically sound in all shapes and sizes. He ticks the boxes, all right. And he's a player who dribbles at people, which there's a lack of players who are actually either prepared or want to take the ball and run at people.
Yeah,
he's a problem for Isaac. He's a problem for Isaac because
I'm telling you,
Isaac's now got to mentally overcome. He's got to come up physically over his injury. He's got to mentally overcome whatever challenges he was having before coming back. Because you don't come into a team, all right, you're not match fit, but then be that undercooked. So now you've got this man who most probably is going to start ahead of you, and if he's firing, you're going to be thinking, well, where's my opportunity? So Isaac's got a lot of work to do now to even stake a place ahead of Ekitike. That's Ekitike's position now, as far as I'm concerned. And it's Isaac now. How do you take it away from him?
No ifs or buts. Preds, I agree 100%. Same thing against Burnley. We had 32 shots. That's on the players, not on Slot. And that is from quality within play. Preds, another one for you, Preds.
It's a pause moment, isn't
it? I have no idea.
I'm warming up, man. I'm warming up. I've been away for a hot minute.
Definitely back, mate. I tell you, Preds is definitely back. All this time we've been going, and we haven't had one for a minute. But you know what, Preds? Yeah, mate.
I thought I was going to get disappointed if you didn't have the little picture.
Just hold it. There you go, son.
I'm holding it, mate. I hold it.
There you go, son. Okay. So,
well, that's a big hold, isn't it?
So, the 4-2-2 formation that we played versus Marseille, with Cody playing as one of the strikers for now, that could work.
Completely agree. Completely agree.
You know what? Quality within play.
Me, that is why. There's two reasons that we saw a massive difference yesterday. Number one is the change in formation, which allowed you to get a lot more out of your players than what you've been playing before. And number two, European football as well, being a bit different from the Prem. That's why I believe also you got a lot more from the team yesterday, to be honest. Because I tell you what, come back to the Prem now, come this weekend, and it won't be so easy. It definitely won't be so easy.
Yeah, I do agree that
it's dependent on dependent on the control we assume in possession. That's what that formation needs. It screams out for it. If you keep possession, you're good. Out of possession, you just go into a 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1. But that's there, and then you've got the people on the outside who are quite, they've got the outside, they can come inside, the ones and out. It's quite fluid. It's quite fluid, this formation.
Yeah, I think that's the best way forward.
What you have is when we've got the ball and we're going forward, it's now a back three because either Kirkes is gone or Frimpong's gone. So then you've got a back three, and then you've got one more. So then you've got one of the fullbacks bombing forward to go and cause havoc.
To be fair, even yesterday, like they were both bombing forward, and I guess it was Gravy was rotating into that half space as well. I actually think
Boslai was helping out.
Yeah, and this is it because like Szoboszlai, as much as I get frustrated with his selflessness, but he does have that to his game where he will do the running to make the off the ball running to make like the system work, innit? Sometimes you just need a man like that. So although I feel that sometimes we're misusing him a little bit, but his skill sets, like it helps the team, innit? So yeah, Kirk is now playing very well. He wants to do the whip thing. So Hugo yesterday could then come in field. If that's Cody, he can do the same thing. Verts then drops out of that, ball slide into the 10. Mo's in that right half. It just worked, innit? The players were in the positions on the pitch that they want to be in roles that they wanted to have. And I feel like not letting Slot off the hook again, but I just think his style of football is relying on having passers in deeper areas. And I thought there was no coincidence that McAllister being back to form, who in my opinion is our best midfield passer out of the four that normally play in that area, and Joe Gomez, who is ball playing from the back. I thought that there's no coincidence.
Coming from Amit. So just in case you get this massive shout out to Joey G last night.
Yeah, this is it. I just feel like there's no coincidence that we were like at our most fluid because we could actually pass through the lines. And it was regular as well. I think it was the Hugo chance where he hits the crossbar or where he hits the post. And Gomez has got a pass to the right and he just punches it through the lines. And then Dom turns, slips him through. And I just think, Slot's football is based on having those passes from like deeper areas. So
control of possession.
Yeah, this is it. So this is where sometimes I'm looking at the recruitment and I'm saying, yes, they're good players, but did we sign enough players to help Slot play football that in the way that he wants to play it? I don't know.
Okay. Evening, Mark. Nice of you to join us, sir. Mark's always with us. Amit says the key ingredient to any of these formations that we're talking about is intensity. Get the intensity right and reap the rewards.
Yeah. And that's why Mo can't play unless Mo's running. Yesterday he was running. He wasn't great yesterday, but he was running.
No, he wasn't. The chance he missed, for Pete's sakes.
Oh, yeah. You see what Cody gave him.
Yeah, terrible.
The what? Sorry, say again.
Says, I don't want Gakpo one trick pony here no more. I believe we can cash in and do it a lot better. Sorry, a lot better.
Yeah, no, Preds. Mo missed an opportunity. Mo messed up last night towards the end of the game.
He could have squared it. Loads of things he could have done.
And Cody looked at him like he was something on the bottom of his foot.
Yep. And so rightly so. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Amit says Joey started the move for the third goal. He's such an underrated squad player. 100%. And he reckons that Salah doesn't shoot like that if it's 0-0.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
He does.
Sorry, I disagree with that, mate. Laxy day. That was just laxy dazel for me. It was just, it was terrible. It's terrible. That's a really, really poor miss. Oh. If you're not going to square it to someone who's in a better position, you have to score.
And you know what? As brilliant as he is, I think this is why his fans get. This is the explanation as to why his biggest fans will get upset, right? In the fact, or his biggest defenders can't argue against why he's not considered in the levels of Messi or Ronaldo, because they don't make that sort of mistake in that position.
I'm telling you.
So, as great as he is, and we know that he's phenomenal, that is that's almost like the line, isn't it? In terms of Ronaldo is going to score, or Messi's going to score, or Messi's going to lay it off. But what Messi's not going to do is what Mo did.
Mm-hmm. But don't you think that I'm one of Mo's biggest fans, extra. But now he's starting to become that person you're thinking it's about you. Like, you want to score goals, you want to break the goal scoring records, you want to do this. And that what he done yesterday again is another example of just screaming out in regards to his just individualism. Like, he doesn't consider. Now, when it was Mane and Salah, brilliant. It was entertaining. We loved it because you knew that they had a little battle, right? And it was good. He done to Salah, he done to Mane, X, Y, and Z. But now the age is at, and the experience is accumulated, and the fear factor that he's got. Mo can attract 3 players. Just knock it to the side because there's 2 players, 3.
Yep.
But he doesn't. He wants to try and dribble through an impossible spaces, loses the ball, hands up in the air like that.
Was the one when he could have squared it to Works to get his first goal in the European game.
Yeah.
Oh my days, brother! I wanted to jump in the TV and put my hands around his neck because that, for me,
it's cardinal. It's
criminal.
It's
absolutely criminal.
Mate.
And you know what? As a senior player, you think you should feel good about bringing him in. This new guy's coming to your team, setting him up to get his first goal, let him help him start to kick on. You understand? You think you feel good about doing something like that. No. It's all about me.
This again is what was touched on. This is what again was touched on in the John Barnes interview, right? He talks about for all the big players that were at the club, there was no one bigger than the team. Everyone actually looks, even if Kenny Dalglish was a superstar, Kenny Dalglish couldn't see himself being bigger and better than Sammy Lee because they all had to play to make the team work. It can't be, I'm the guy. He said, you transition now to a team into football now where you have the superstars of the team and then you have the rest of the guys. Whereas in their day, the culture was whether you were a superstar or not, you were part. It was this is the team. I can't win. I can be a superstar, but I can't show my worth as a superstar if I don't win. If I don't win, the guys don't win. We all lose. You get what I'm saying? So really interesting. I watch it. I recommend anyone who's on here, if they haven't watched it, watch it because it's hour 20 minutes of just you just sit down and listen. So
I've got it set up and lined up. I've got it set up, lined up, and ready to rock and roll once we finish this.
Honestly, that part that VW is talking about was brilliant because I almost feel like with Mo, because of how popular he is, it's almost like if you criticize him, then it's personal or you've got a problem with him. Now, I know Jamie Carragher, it felt quite personal, but I thought all of his points landed, didn't it? But it's almost like certain players you can't criticize because the person who's doing it's got a bit of a bad reputation or they're seen as being, working against the club. And I thought Mo Salah's behavior after that game, I can't remember the actual game it was, I thought that was appalling. Appalling.
Leeds.
The one when he done the interview.
I thought it was appalling. Appalling. And the fact that fans were defending that, I thought to myself, you can only defend this if you're so personal that you don't like Slot, that anyone who's cussing him, you're just going to accept it. But if you're a fan of Liverpool Football Club, a working class club, our club's always been a working class in the community where if you get too big for your boots, people will bring you down. That whole ego, arrogant, superstar, glitz and glamour has never been associated with our club at any point in time. Any point in time. Hence, I'm glad Barnes spoke on it so passionately today, because plays that we might see is our top three.
Whoa. No spoiler alerts, mate. No spoiler alerts.
Just saying, but like, so when Mo did that, I thought to myself, brother, you're kicking off, throwing the manager under the bus, the sporting director, someone else maybe, because you basically been on the bench for a week. I'm like, come on, man, isn't it?
See, that behaviour there, exactly what you just said. He's looking to put people against each other. Yeah. Now, we've been good to Mo, and Mo's been good to us. It's been a great relationship. Up until that moment in time there, he lost credibility for me. Because you're a big-ass 34-year-old man with all the accolades and all the things that you've done, to then for being on the bench for 7 days, admittedly, because you weren't playing good enough.
Thank you. Wasn't without good reason.
He wasn't dropped because it was a personal thing, or he was dropped, I should imagine, because he wasn't playing well. And what managers do sometimes is, if you're not playing well, drop him to see the reaction you're going to get from him. The reaction we wanted from him was to go back on that field, get angry, and take it out on that opponent. However, he chose to go and get an audience.
Mm-hmm. And this adds to the complexities of what we're talking about, or what Doctor talks about in terms of what Slot, and we're not sitting there being Slot sympathisers, but it's perspective, isn't it? What Slots have to deal with, because Slot may have not communicated it to him in the right way, and that could be on Slot, right? And that's why you got the reaction. That's why the reaction we got what we had. But you got to allow him that as well. All right, it's a mistake, isn't it? If he didn't communicate it to him, and then he said the guy didn't speak to him. So okay, he didn't speak to
you. You know what? I called it.
Yeah, but he's 34 years old. 34 years old. You've been a professional for nearly 20 odd years, and you're telling me that if you are unclear on the communication that's been given by the manager, then go and knock on his door and ask for a clarification.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Yeah. Honestly,
but you don't go out there and go and get an audience, and all of a sudden now it's viral and there's memes all over the place and X, Y, and Z. And now the emphasis is taken away from Liverpool's bad form, or Liverpool per se. It's about Salah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But something must have been happening at the time. Sorry, Doctor. Do you remember in that little excerpt of the video, we hear VVD go say, "Let him speak," isn't it? So something must have been happening at the time.
So I feel like they obviously knew Mo was a bit annoyed. So there's all these things happening that bid, and then they had gone to Mo and said, "Look, we're just letting you know this." How there's all these types of things that have taken place. But where I just said that Mo was talking mess and was lying through his teeth was when he said that no one's told him that he's not going to be playing, that he wasn't aware this was going to happen. I'm just like, bro, Dominic Szoboszlai has taken your position and is playing your position as a right-sided midfielder. He's not playing as a right winger. If Chiesa had played it rather than Mo, I could have been like, maybe I can believe it. But Szoboszlai is playing the position completely different to how Mo plays the position. So you need to convince me that Arne Slot has not worked on this in training at all, no patterns of play, and he just turned up on the day and said, Szoboszlai, You're going to play instead of Salah, and you're going to play completely differently, and none of the other players know about this. The right back that needs to pass to Szoboszlai, the right side centre midfielder. I was just like, this is unbelievable. You cannot change a major tactic and no one know about this. Like it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like it's actually impossible.
But you know what? Even if we gave him that, it was the Instagram post on the Monday or the Tuesday or whatever, when they went overseas, and then he's in the gym by himself.
Yeah.
That was the one for me, was like, yeah, you could have let this lie. But you've then gone and thrown gas on the fire again by sitting in the gym and doing the one caption picture of you by yourself.
Yeah.
That was the one.
The funny part of that video, that he done the interview. Did you clock the guy behind, the Liverpool employee behind Salah?
Yeah.
His face told a cracking story. Like the guy behind him, he's a Liverpool employee, clearly. Salah's having an interview, and when Salah's coming out with the gas that he was coming out with, the facials that this employee was given was absolutely priceless. Because it was one of those, like, he was rolling his eyes like, oh my God. And it was almost like, one, what are you doing? And two, what are you moaning about? Like, it was, if you watch the video, watch the geezer behind his facial, mate. Brilliant.
And this is what I say, like, no manager's going to tolerate that. Like, no manager. People talking about, I want Enrique. Well, Enrique would have told Salah, like, you're not playing again. Because man told Mbappe straight, innit? We saw the clips of it. You've got to press. Like, no manager, like, you can't have a situation where a star player is saying, you have to play me irrespective of how I'm playing or I'm kicking off. That's just madness. People can't say, but it's slot. We saw Salah try to boy up Klopp on the touchline against West Ham.
Yep.
So at some point, we've got to say, Mo, you've been brilliant. You've been great for us, but that's unacceptable. And that's it. Like, that's the line. There's no context. But Slot didn't tell. No, it's unacceptable. And it's not in keeping with the culture and history of our club. Like, I just don't see it why that's controversial. It's not.
Simples. Evening Swinger 05. Is there something you want to tell us?
I think that's my brethren, Ovid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're it's Ovid. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not no swinger. I'll tell you that.
Maybe you do your spare time. You keep
we don't see.
Swinger 05.
I thought that would mean being a pineapple.
Mark says, what worries me is where does Isak fit in this style? Isak suits Klopp's style, not Slots. Why spend 120 mil to change the player?
I still believe that there's a slot for Isak. Is it a case of playing a 4-2-2? Was it 4-2-2? Yeah, 4-2-2-2. Maybe that's where Isak fits. It's Ekatike and Isak up front. Maybe, I don't know. I believe there is a space for him. There's got to be a space for him. Come on.
I think there's a space for him, but I don't think there's a space that gets the best out of both. Let's just say you played Isak yesterday rather than Mo, so you played both of them yesterday. Isak's still coming from the right, but he doesn't really want to be. Yes, he can do a job there, but he wants to be playing from the left channel, right? So I just feel like, I don't know, man. The jigsaw ain't quite fitting for me, innit? It really isn't.
Okay. So, good performance against Marseille. Another good thing I'm happy about, clean sheet, I must say.
It's a pause, mate.
Salah, Bournemouth this weekend. How do we see that one going? And
has to be a win, man.
Do you think the manager's going to be brave enough to play the same formation?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
It's not like we played a new formation with fringe players. We played out with a full complement of players, and it seemed like, looking on some of the players, they enjoyed it. They enjoyed themselves. Most importantly, like apart from the win, they looked like they enjoyed themselves and looked like they knew where they were going, and and there was a lot more fluidity to our play as well. So I don't see why not. It's a case of Bournemouth, everyone's playing a low block against us, and then hitting us on the break. That's the ingredient about in regards to playing Liverpool Football Club at the moment. We can play expansive, we can play these little balls, but he's no swinger. We've given him a complex now.
But all right, but how do you see the game going against Bournemouth? What do you think the results going to be?
I think I'm always going to be positive, and always going to think that Liverpool's going to win every single game that they're going to play, and that's not going to change. So I believe Liverpool's going to win.
Okay, Vinny.
They're good footballers in Bournemouth.
Yep.
They
are.
But Semenyo's gone.
Yeah.
So that's maybe a feather in our cap. I'll be honest with you, because I would take a 1-0. I would, just because we've got to get some more traction now. So, but it's not going to be an easy game.
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah, I expect another good performance. I think key players have found a really good rhythm and are kind of been performing well. I think the team performances have also improved. So, I think you'll line up similarly to how we played against Marseille. And I'm going to say 3-0,
Be interesting if Kirkes plays, right? Be interesting to see if Kirkes plays.
I think he will, man.
I think he needs to, because the last few games he's been consistent in the last, since Arsenal game anyway, and probably the game before that. That Kirkes' consistency is getting better. His awareness, maybe him and Gakpo have had a chat, because for some reason Gakpo just refused to pass on the ball when my man's doing a 60-yard overlap.
Okay, so Isak will come good once Salah is gone, and we get Zabi in to tweak that formation. Isak must play as the main striker, and Hugo and Wirtz can play off him.
So Slot's gone in his mind, boy.
This low block, Rio, Hugo, Wirtz is our best free to play the low, twisted and cute passing. Low block never going to work with Gakpo in. Bournemouth will miss Tavernier, as he's been playing in the number 10 advanced role, but he got injured in their last match. And Mark sees it as 2-1 to Liverpool, Wirtz and Hugo. Swinger's not messing about it. Says the managers are sap and will definitely change the lineup and tactics again. Yeah. Vinny,
Vinny, what go on here, sir?
You know what? I agree with him, because that's what I'm worried about. I'm thinking that he'll probably go back and change the formation again, and you know what? Probably Gakpo will start again. He'll probably bring Gakpo in, especially as he scored as well. I'm just like, here we go again, back to the norm. Yeah.
Slot is sitting on death row, Slot is sitting on death row.
I'm literally
they could game by game. Which is hard, man. I like in a couple of the groups we've had debates and discussions around it. I think we're doing him a disservice. I do think we're doing him a disservice.
No, not if he goes out there and changes that formation again and starts Gakpo. That's not doing him he's doing himself a disservice.
What I would say is, I feel
he's gonna hide into nothing, man. He's gonna hide into nothing.
So Cody played against not Brentford. Who was the last team that we played against in the league? We drew.
Burnley.
Who was it? Burnley, yeah.
Burnley.
And I thought the team looked like like we played well, right? Because he obviously played Verts from the right, had that floating role, and then Frimpong then had the width on the right hand side. So yeah, he could do that again and go with Hugo through the middle, Cody left, Verts from the right, but wandering, and then Frimpong does that. Look, I just think I want Slot to do what he thinks is the best tactical approach to beat Bournemouth. And I think just because something worked against Marseille and Bournemouth aren't the same team. So I feel like we've got to give the manager the confidence to do what he thinks is best, because I just feel like, let's say he keeps the exact same team and then we drop points.
Why did they change him? Because they were tired.
Yeah, I just feel like he's got to do what he thinks is best, man. And I do trust his judgment. I know he's
all right. You see what you're saying there, Doctor, right? He's got to do what he thinks is best. I hear what you're saying, but I agree with what Vinny was saying earlier. And I think he's doing what's best for us not to get beat, not for us to win.
I think that's changing a little bit now.
The rot.
Yeah, I agree with
that's changing a little bit now.
Yeah, but somewhere along the line, if your players are not playing well, you have to stop the rot somewhere. It might not be entertaining.
Bro, we've stopped the rot.
It might not be that.
We're 11 unbeaten.
Now, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying the rot in regards. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying the rot in regards to the results. I'm talking about our structure within the game. We're too easy to play against. We're too open. We're too expansive. Teams are finding holes. And when I'm saying stop the rot, I'm talking about he has to shut up shop somewhere on the line, because we could not proceed with the way that we were playing, because we were too open. So what, do we do that
for the rest of the season then?
Sorry? Once the players get confidence, yeah, but when the players get confidence within the structure, within the team, you might get a different approach to it.
Bro,
but
we're 11 unbeaten, bro.
Yeah, but we're too. Yeah, but listen, we're 11. Come on. Yeah, but we're 11 unbeaten. But have we played particularly well in all 11 games?
No, exactly. We haven't played well. He needs to do something else.
Yeah, but why are you going to set up? Why are you going to set up? The thing is, it doesn't make sense to set up attacking football when the rest of the team is not right. Somewhere along the line, as a manager, you have to go through the dynamics, sort the defense out, sort your defensive shape out, sort if going forward. You can't just plug in and play. There's a certain degree of dynamics that you have to make sure things are working. And in the 11 games unbeaten, we weren't firing on all cylinders. The defense might be working one day, but the forwards weren't working the other. The midfield weren't working one day, but the defense is working. We weren't having a complete 90 minutes performance.
We haven't been firing all season. If you remember rightly, those first 5 games, we won in the last few minutes.
Yeah. And then we lost the next 5. Then we lost the next 5 in the last few minutes.
What you're saying
of a game.
Yeah, but what you're saying, why are we not getting set? Why are we setting up not to be beaten?
He needs to see something else then. Like, all right, then now. So you know what? Play Gomez and Van Dijk going forward.
Again, you don't know what happens behind the scenes. You don't know what happens in training. Gomez might not have been showing up. Gomez might not have been showing up in training. Where in fact,
every time Gomez has come on so far, he's done all right. From the first time he came on against the Arsenal game, the first Arsenal game, he played like a boss. And ever since then, he's come on, he's done all right for me. So I don't see what the problem is. And you've even taken our best midfielder, who's our best midfielder on form, taking him out of our midfield to play him right back when you've had Gomez and that on the bench.
Yeah, but have you considered that Gomez might not have been totally ready to play and start in 90 minutes, seeing as he's had the degree of injuries that he's been having? There's the other side of it. You might think that it should be thingy, but then do we know the dynamics? Is he ready match sharp to be playing games from the start, plugging in from a couple of weeks, couple of months ago? We don't know what the dynamics is. We don't know what happens during training. It's great us from the outside saying, why is he not doing this? Why is he not doing that? But we are not in the position of Slot in regards to training day in, day out, assessing the players from Monday to Friday, ready for the game on Saturday. Gomez might not be showing
All right, so
what
you're saying he might
saying that
not
he's
be
doing.
ready to start, but during the game with 20 minutes to go, and then you make a substitution and you move Szoboszlai to right back when he's on the bench. He doesn't have to start. He's playing 20 minutes, and you're taking out our best fielder.
Yeah, I see that, but then there's advantages of putting Szoboszlai there because attacking wise, he's more fluid. He's not so rigid.
And then we're losing something in
Gomez
the midfield.
would be. Yeah, but he's got to change something in the game. It's in-game management. He's got to change it. Are we saying that he's just got? Are we saying that it's a football manager? Slot is playing football like he's managing football like football manager. He goes and downloads a formation and plugs it in. Regards to Szoboszlai going right back. The game against the other day, I can't remember. Szoboszlai went right back. FA Cup game. Szoboszlai went right back.
Barnsley.
It was Barnsley. He went right back to go and deal with that player. But then also when we were attacking, he was more fluid in regards to positional play, going inside. He went outside. Gomez, all due respect to him, and when you're going for a goal, you're not going to be playing him to try and do that. He's one-dimensional in regards to not one-dimensional. He's rigid in regards to he's just going to go up and down. Slot may not want that. Slot may want someone who can fit in right back, who can then go inside, play inside, comfortable in there, go a little bit forward. Like, not saying it's Trent-esque, but something like that. And I'm not saying that you're not wrong. I'm just saying that we as supporters have to trust what Slot and his management see in training and during game over the period of the season. And if we haven't been playing fluid football, one department works, one department don't work. So I think we have to kind of take off our rose-tinted glasses here and get down to reality is that he's picked up those results. We weren't playing great, but we've been unbeaten, like you said, and we've picked up results. The famous saying is, if you're not playing well and you can't win, don't lose.
Right. So I think you both got points, man. And I think, I like Szoboszlai at right back, but I also recognize that we need him in midfield, especially before where, do you know what it was, lads? The balance just was off, right? Isak could barely run. Mo was choosing not to run. So you take out Szoboszlai and Matt couldn't run. So you had three out of the starting 11 that just couldn't run. So then Szoboszlai is needed in midfield because if you've got three players who just aren't doing what they're meant to be doing. But I can see the point of having Szoboszlai at right back because, coming back to what I said about the Marseille game, Slot's tactics is reliant on having players at the back to progress the ball through the pitch. Frimpong, for as great as he is a winger, really and truly. He's dynamic as a winger. He's brilliant when he gets there, but he's not going to progress the ball. Kanate isn't bad on the ball, but he's just not a ball-playing centre-back.
No.
So I just thought then and then Matt Tens obviously struggled. So it's almost just like, who in these deeper areas of the pitch, other than Van Dijk, can pass the ball? And I think this is why Dom needed to go right back at times, simply just to get the actual team playing, because
they all can pass the ball. It's just about decision making and passing the ball. They can all pass. They're professional football players.
This is it. But like saying that they can't, right? Yeah, it's composure.
It's decision making.
Yeah, and I think it's difficult because I just feel like you can sign Verts, you can sign Isak, you can spend £300 million on attackers, even more than that. But if you don't have the tactical setup or the players to get them the ball in good areas, it's just a waste of time. And we spent so much of this season not being able to get them the ball in good areas, regularly. I think it's been a key part of our season up until in recent weeks, where the build-up does seem to be a little bit better again. So I think the manager's been put in a tricky position, personally.
Okay, gents. Last question before we're gonna close it up. Before we wrap up, are we gonna make any serious signings this window?
I hope not.
Do you say you hope not?
Hope not.
You hope not?
I hope not, yeah.
Okay. Why'd you say that?
I think we need a period of settling down, and at the moment we've brought in 5 players from the summer. Hasn't quite worked the way we wanted it to. However, I think we need a period of bedding down, and this is the period with the second half of the season. You don't need to bring anyone else. You don't need to include anyone else who's, i.e., buying somebody and then sitting them down and taking them through the way we play. You've got a group of players who've done that for the first part of the season. Now it's part of the second part of the season to get those players, and those players, by the way, have to now start to demonstrate whether they understand the way Klopp wants to play, and then actually act upon it and do it. That's just my opinion.
Okay, Vinny.
Come back to me, please. Let me think. Sorry.
Yeah, listen. I think. Yeah, like I think Perez makes some very good points there. I don't think we will. I think obviously like the squad needs new players to balance it all out, but I do think there's a point in letting these current players bed in and show what they can do as well. But I guess I probably would add a centre back personally.
Yeah. No, I don't think we will. It's not our style. It's not something we do very often, and I think it will be. Let's see work with what we've got, and we'll make the plans for the next season. Look, we didn't get Mark Gay. We thought we were going to get Mark Gay at the end of the last window. We didn't get him. Then was like, do you know what? We might get him in January then. And it was like, we're not going to make any effort to get him in January. So I can't see us going in for anyone in January. So and very few people do now, to be fair. Those days of big transfer windows in January are gone. Because everyone just realised they're getting bumped. Do you get what I mean? So no one does it no more.
It's inflated prices. It's inflated prices.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get somebody
20 million weren't inflated.
Yeah, but going forward, I mean, that's why their manager wants to go now, because he wants to go because he thought he wanted to keep Gahey there. I don't. Yeah. Did Gahey really want to go to Liverpool? Did Liverpool really want Gahey? I'm a bit confused in regards to how do we have the guy in the city doing his medicals X, Y, and Z, and I know the report saying that it was Glasner who stopped it.
Yeah,
I didn't automatically think that you'd go for him January because the deal's all set up, everything's been agreed. So what stopped Liverpool? I don't know. I don't know the answer, but what stopped Liverpool from going for Gahey?
I wish I knew, man. I wish I knew because so it's a position that we need because there's talk again of Konate back to Real Madrid again. Also, he's English international, so he fits in with what we need as well. As you know, you need a core of English players. So, and now they're talking about this Joel Ordence, these couple other guys. There's also now talk of Mickey van der Ven as a long-term replacement for Van Dijk as well.
Yeah.
So
what about the return of the prodigal son?
Who?
Trent.
T2.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm saying the reports coming out in Spain that the TTA is not. They're
telling him Arbeloa's telling him to find a new club.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll take him on a free. I would.
See that club there? They ruin careers, boy. They ruin careers.
You're bringing back. What does that say for poor Bradley and that? And these players are trying to come through.
Look.
Trent will come back. He won't come back.
Bradley can't stay fit. I think that's just like he couldn't stay fit in his recent seasons, and now it's not his fault. And by the way, someone needs to punch on Martinelli. But that's a separate. Like we'll do that next week. But I just feel if we get Trent, that's our build-up issues fixed. Fixed. Yes, Trent. Like you put Trent as your right back, and you could put Frimpong right wing if you want. You say Mo is what it is. That's our build-up issues fixed. That it's seamless now. Seamless. Blame will be seamless.
He won't come back. He comes back then with his tail between his legs, doesn't he? So he won't come back. He won't.
Defender take him back.
So
he's going German.
Before we go, this one for Preds, as he says, you're hoping that we don't make any signings. So you're okay playing 2 centre backs in the FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League for the rest of the season. As we all know, Gomez won't last all season. He's not had a full season since winning the Europa finals against Seville. Which is why I was a bit surprised when you said that. I understand what you're thinking when you say, having to get somebody in and integrate that player, but I believe we need cover at centre back. Anything happens to Virgil and that, we're in problems. We are in major problems. So for me, I would only really look to say, all right, one signing, and that's a centre back.
What centre back is going to be coming to Liverpool at this point?
Well,
even in the summer. Yeah, even in the summer. Like if you're going to get a centre half at this point, I think we've already kind of identified it. People can inflate their prices. They know that we need a centre half. By the way, the young centre half, is he out for the season or is he?
No, they said he's back training. Oh. Him and Isak are both back actually running and training on grass.
So that could be another reason why we may not have gone out
for the past about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks actually on grass. Isak has only just come back now.
Yeah. So there might be a small chance that Leone may play I'm not going to say he's going to play a major part. No, I get what the comments in regards to centre halves, and I get that. Yeah. If we do, we do. If we don't,
Mark says that Trent has had 3 big injuries since he's gone there to Real Madrid, so he's done.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Mark's right. Yeah, that's a good point.
He's done. But gentlemen, I must say, man, it's been a blast, man. Yeah, man. It's good to have you lot back. Good, I must say, mouth on the stick. Definitely know that he's back in the building. I tell you. Definitely know he's back.
I can't believe we've gone all this time and we ain't even mentioned AFCON.
We ain't mentioned who?
Oh yeah. AFCON.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another one. We might have to leave that for next week. But I must say,
my towel.
It's been a blast. Do remember, people's like, share, subscribe. It's all about Cop Talk on a Thursday night, right here on YouTube. And once again, Preds, massive respect on that promo, mate. I'm telling you.
Thank you very much.
And I am looking to see you take over from Hughes and whatever. And I'll take a little finder's fee because I've got a couple players. I've got a couple players for you. You know what I mean? Just a little finder's fee, a little brown envelope. You know what I mean? So the tax man don't know. You get me?
We'll have a discussion.
All right, cool. No problem. Peoples, take it easy. VW, thank you very much, sir. Doctor.
Thank you for having me on, guys.
No problem. Preds, mouth on the stick. We are going to say good night and God bless.